Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Recently I was browsing through this website looking for some research papers. As you can see, I had the option of reading these research papers online or download them as a PDF for offline reading. But what made me super happy was the fact that the site also provided me an option to download these research articles in the ePUB format. Now, these days, if I have a choice, I always prefer downloading content in the ePUB format over PDF because it is so much more convenient to read ePUB files on mobile devices. When people today do most of their reading on mobile devices, it is in fact quite surprising to me why content creators do not routinely offer readers an option to download content in the ePUB format like this site does, when it is so easy to do so. My name is Chinmaya, and in this video, I'm going to tell you about the ePUB format, its advantages, and demonstrate how you can easily save your documents in the ePUB format for your readers in LibreOffice. So let's start with a quick roundup of what exactly is ePUB. ePUB stands for electronic publication. It's written as either capital ePUB or with a small e and capital PUB. This is the logo of ePUB as we had seen on the journal site that I had previously mentioned. When you encounter an ePUB file on a computer, you will see that it has an extension of .epub. It's one of the most popular file formats for eBooks or digital books. It's an open file format, which basically means that file specifications are openly available. The current version of ePUB is 3.2, although many people just simply talk about the major version of ePUB, which is 3. Now, when you go a little bit deeper and try to see what exactly is a ePUB file made up of, you find that it is just a collection of HTML pages that have been styled using something that is called as CSS or cascading style sheet. So unlike many other file formats which have their own proprietary or open specification, an ePUB file is basically much more similar to an internet website, which is a collection of HTML pages, and it is styled using CSS. The key feature with an ePUB file is that it is a reflowable document, which basically means that text inside an ePUB document just simply fits on any device on which it is being viewed. So if it's being viewed on a mobile phone, text will reflow and fit a mobile phone screen. And if it is being viewed on a laptop, it will just simply fit the size of the laptop screen. So this is an illustration of what responsive or reflowable content actually means. This illustration has been adapted from a Bruce Lee quote, which mentioned that people should be like water. When you put water inside a cup, it becomes a cup. When you put water inside a teapot, it becomes like a teapot. And when you put water inside a bottle, it assumes the shape of a bottle. So this Bruce Lee quote was then adapted by Josh Clark for digital devices. And he tried to imply that content should actually be like water. And if you are viewing content on a small device like a mobile phone, it should actually fit the size of the mobile phone screen. And if you are viewing the content on a bigger device like a laptop screen, content should then reflow and fit naturally to the size of the display device of a laptop. Now, this is what it actually looks like. If you are viewing content on a laptop, the content would adjust itself to the size of the laptop screen. If you are viewing the same content on a tablet, it will mold itself and fit into the display size of a tablet. If you are seeing the same content on a smaller device like a mobile phone, the text will remold itself and fit proportionate to the size of the mobile screen. The content remains exactly the same. It just fits to the size of the display. And this is very important because these days most people view content on their mobile phones. So if you want to read something properly on a mobile phone, this makes the reading experience all the more enjoyable. Now, Book and Journal Publishing House Taylor and Francis outline the following 5 advantages of ePUBs. The first one is something that I just mentioned. ePUBs are fully responsive, which basically means that the layout adjusts itself based on the size of your screen, and it's a much more pleasant reading experience that way. The second advantage is that you can actually change the size of the font. You don't need to pinch and zoom. The ePUB reader will provide you options to change the size of the font, which can be very useful for a lot of people, particularly those who are visually challenged. Furthermore, the ePUB format is much more accessible for visually impaired people because it is fully optimized for screen reading devices. So if you have a screen reader, if you wanted the content to be read by a screen reader, the ePUB format is much more optimized for that particular purpose. Number 4 is that file sizes of ePUB files are very much smaller than PDFs. So almost about 90% smaller as compared to a PDF file. And therefore they load much quicker and take much less space on your device. Finally, an ePUB file includes an outline or a table of contents, so you can very easily navigate between different sections of your document. So these are 5 important advantages of ePUBs. I will leave this link in the description below, and you can read the original source, which has other interesting explanations as well. So how do you read an ePUB file? Well, if you want to read a PDF file, you need a PDF reader. Just like that, if you want to read an ePUB file, you need to install a eBook reader software on your phone or your laptop. Now, interestingly, many popular PDF readers, they cannot open an ePUB file easily. There are, of course, PDF readers that can also open ePUB files, but most popular PDF readers cannot open an ePUB file. On the other hand, most ebook readers can not only open PDF files, they can also open ePUB files and files in many other formats. For example, a Microsoft Word document, a Mobi document, a LibreOffice document, also deja vu files. So ebook readers can open many different kinds of files apart from PDF files. Also, in addition to opening so many different kinds of files, ebook readers also provide you a single point of access for all your digital documents. You can just simply open the eBook app and you will find all your documents, whether they are Microsoft Word documents, LibreOffice documents, PDFs, ePUBs, everything conveniently and aesthetically located at one single point. So as you can see, it's really advantageous to install an ebook reader on your mobile phone or on your laptop. So in this video, I will now talk about how to save your document as an ePUB file in LibreOffice Writer, which is a free and open source Office suite. I will also show you how you can install an ePUB reader and view an ePUB file. We will discuss some issues that are important while we create ePUBs. We will also try to decode the structure of an ePUB file. Recall that I mentioned that it's a collection of HTML pages styled using CSS. So we will just try to see that. And finally, I will talk about how we can bring about some improvements in the process of creation of an ePUB document. So let's start the demonstration. So let me just explain to you the sample document that I have created for this tutorial. Before I move forward, although we will not be using these tabs here, if you don't see these tabs on your screen, all you need to do is to go to View, then choose User Interface. So just click on it. Make sure that you have selected Tabbed User Interface, and then just simply come here and click on Apply to Writer. So when you do that, you will see all these tabs available. Now let me just explain this document that I will be using for this particular tutorial. I have made this document available through a link in the description below such that you can follow along. This document is just 5 pages. You can think of this document as a miniature book or a report. So I start with a table of contents, and as we scroll down, we will see that the next page starts chapter 1. So the major chapter heading is styled as heading 1. If you click the chapter headings, you will see that they are styled as heading 1. The text inside the document is styled as text body. So if you click inside the paragraphs, you will find that they are styled as text body, and subheadings would then be styled as heading 2. So if you were to click on a subheading, you will see that they are styled as heading 2. I have another level of heading, and I will point that out to you as we go down. If there are headings under a subheading, they would be then styled as heading 3. I have introduced a few hyperlinks. So as you can see here, this is a hyperlink, and you will find a few other hyperlinks as we examine this document further. The document has 4 figures, and the figures are properly captioned and numbered like this one. I have also put in a sample footnote. So if you click on this, it'll take you to the footnote on this particular page. I have also inserted a few cross references. So if you were to click on this, it will take you to a cross reference, the appropriate section. If you want to know more about cross references, I have created a full video on cross references, and I have given a link to that particular video in the description box. So I have included a few cross references right here. Then I have included a list, an ordered list. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using text in this document largely as placeholders, and I have taken this text from Wikipedia pages. So these are some of the elements that you will see repeating on the other pages inside this document. As we scroll down, you will see this is a subheading, so it is styled as heading 2. And this is also a subheading, which is also styled as heading 2. On this page, we have a table, and then we have figure 2. All these subheadings are styled as heading 2. Paragraphs are styled as text body. So as we go down, a new chapter starts. So the heading for this chapter, chapter 2, is styled as heading 1, as I was mentioning before. And we then have another figure and subheadings under this particular chapter styled as heading 2. And this is the third level of heading. So when you click on this one, Europe, you will find that this is styled as heading 3. So this is the end of the document. So this document in summary has a table of contents. It has properly styled headings. It has figures which are captioned and numbered. It has a footnote. It has some cross references. It has hyperlinks, as you can see here, and at a few other places. And it has an ordered list. So this is the structure of this document that we will be using in this tutorial. So let's say we have created this report, or let's say we are writing a book, and we now want to save this document in the ePUB format. So to do that, you can just come here and click on File and choose Export As. You would have already used exporting this document as a PDF file. For this tutorial, we are interested in exporting this document as a ePUB or in the ePUB format. So we will be confining ourselves to these options. You can directly export this document as ePUB, but I would recommend that we will make this particular choice, export as ePUB and not directly as ePUB, because we will have many more options before we can save the file. So I'm going to come here and click on export as ePUB. I will not be changing any of these default settings except for entering some information. But let me explain what these options are very quickly. So it gives you the choice of exporting this document in 2 formats of ePUB. One is ePUB 3, which is the default, and the second option is ePUB 2. So ePUB 3 is a successor of ePUB 2. Most ebook readers today support ePUB 3. So this is the better option to choose, and we will leave it like this. The second option is for split method. So the default is heading. What this means basically is that a new section starts whenever you have a chapter heading. So as we create this ePUB, it will break the document into a new section, or it will start from a fresh page whenever it encounters heading 1, because that is the highest level of heading. What you can also do is to choose to break the document using page breaks. So if you have inserted page breaks at appropriate places, you can make that choice. We are quite happy with heading, so we will just leave it like that. The third box is for the layout method, and here also we have two choices, the default being reflowable. I have already explained what reflowable means, that when this document will be saved as an EPUB file, the EPUB file will adjust the text according to the screen on which it is being displayed. Now the second option here is fixed. So for if some reason you did not want that to happen and you wanted your document not to adjust to different screen sizes and maintain a constant aspect or size, you can choose fixed. We are quite happy with reflowable because that is one of the important things for which we are trying to create an EPUB file. So I have chosen the defaults here, all three. So further down, we can provide an image which will act as the cover of this ebook. You will see that I have not inserted any cover inside the document itself, and this was the reason why I haven't done it. You can separately provide an image that will act as a cover of this ebook. So what you can do is you can just simply come here and click on browse, and in this particular case I have created a PNG file that will act as my cover. So this is what my cover graphic file looks like. There's a heading, there's a picture, there's my name, a fictitious publishing house, and the year in which it is being published. Of course, you can design better book covers using Canva or Adobe Express. So I'm going to come here, click on it, and press open. So you will see that the path for that particular file has now been inserted here. If you are inserting videos or audios, which I'm not doing in this document, you can point to the folder where the audio and video files are kept. So those can also be included inside. ePUB 3 supports audio and video files. Further down below here, this is metadata, which is information about this file. So let us just try to fill it. So if we had an identifier like an ISBN number, I can just enter that number here. I'm just entering some fictitious number here just for demonstration. The title of the book, so I will just type in environmental challenges, and the name of the author is automatically inserted. If not, then you can type that. The language is English. It is important that you fill in this information because all this information will be visible when you open this file on your mobile device. So we are all set. We have just chosen the defaults here, provided the path or the location where the cover image is, and we have just filled in some metadata describing this particular file, the name of the author, the title, identifier. You can of course leave any field blank if you wanted to. So I'm all set. I'm just going to go ahead and press OK, and it'll open the file saving dialog where you can choose a name and you can choose a location where this file will be saved. You will notice that the file type now is EPUB. So once you have given a name and you have navigated to a location where you want to save this EPUB file, just go ahead and press save. So your EPUB file is now saved, and we can navigate to that particular folder and have a look. So you can see that my EPUB file has been created. It is best to have all your files, the document on which you are working, the cover image, inside the same folder, and start from there such that there is no confusion about paths and so on and so forth. So you can see here that my EPUB file has been created. So I can now go ahead and open this file inside a ebook reader, which I would have to install. If you have an iPhone or if you have a Mac or if you have an iPad, you don't need to install any additional software because iBooks is capable of opening EPUB files, so you don't have to do anything. However, if you are working in Windows or if you are wanting to open this file on an Android mobile device, you will then have to install apps, and I will just show you how to do that. So to view this ePUB file that we have just created, I have installed an app on my Windows system. It's called the Calibre ebook management software. It is a very capable software which not only provides you with an ebook reader on your laptop or on your desktop, but it also provides you with an ebook editor. We will be just simply viewing this file inside Calibre. So you can come to this site here, calibre-ebook.com, as you can see here. I will leave a link in the description box below. So once you're on this page, just come here and click on download. Calibre is completely free and it's an open source program. So to download Calibre, just come to the download button and click on it. And you can download Calibre for Windows, Mac, and Linux. There is also a portable version available for the software, which you can carry on a pen drive if you wanted to. As I've already mentioned, if you're working on a Mac, iBook can read EPUB files, so you don't need to install any additional software on iPhones, iPads, and Mac. But if you are working on Windows, you can install Calibre. The same would be applicable for Linux. So I've downloaded this software for my Windows machine and I have installed it. This is what my newly created EPUB file, Environmental Challenges, looks inside the Calibre ebook viewer. I've just right clicked on this and opened it with the Calibre ebook viewer. You can also make it the default application on your desktop to open EPUB files. I've set it to the dark mode because it's a little bit more visible, but you can choose any other mode that you want through settings. So as we just move down, you will see that the document is now available and readable as a EPUB file. And this is what we meant by reflowable content. So if you increase the size of the screen, the text will then readjust and start displaying appropriately. So say for example, if you wanted to see this on a mobile phone and if you were to readjust the size of the Calibre window like this, you will see that text has readjusted to the size of this mobile phone screen. If you are viewing it on a tablet, it reflows and adjusts itself to the size of the tablet. And of course, if you are wanting to see this on the full desktop screen, you can always increase the size and maximize your window, and the text will then readjust the size of the. So we'll discuss this a little later on, but let me now show you how we can view the same document on an Android mobile device. So for Android mobile phones, I recommend installing an app that is called as ReadEra. It's a beautiful free app. There is a premium version with some additional features, but the free version provides so many wonderful features that you will find this app really very useful. As we scroll down, you can see some screenshots and it tells you that the app does not share data with any third parties. So I recommend you can install this app. This is not an open source app, but it's a very good free app. So you can install this on your Android phone and read everything from one particular place on your Android mobile device. So let's go ahead and have a look at how this file, the file that we have created, environmental challenges, how that file looks on an Android mobile phone. So I went to the Google Play Store and downloaded the ReadEra app, the free version, on my mobile phone and installed it. And after creating the EPUB file on my laptop, I just simply mailed the file to myself and opened my mail on my phone and downloaded that file and opened that file in the ReadEra app, which you are seeing currently on top of your screen, environmental challenges. And as you can see, it's a EPUB file. The size of this file is 1.4 MB. You will also notice the thumbnail for the cover that we had given at the time of creation of this ePUB inside LibreOffice. You can copy this file from your laptop to your mobile phone in any other way that you normally do. Just simply open it with your ReadEra app. Now, just below the environmental challenges ePUB file that we had created is another file that I have here. It's a PDF file, the IPCC AR6 file. As you can see, it is 11 MB in size. Just below it is a docx file, which is a Word file. and below that is another file which is an ODT file, as you can see here, and the ODT format is the default format of LibreOffice. DocX is the default format for Microsoft Word. So as you can see, my ReadEra app has become now a single point for all my digital documents on my mobile phone, and it can read and open all kinds of file formats. So let's now concentrate our attention to the first file, the one that we had created. I'm just going to come here and tap on this to open this file, and as you can see, our file is now visible, and you can see the first page, and you can just simply swipe to move on to the next page and then the next page. As you can see, the text has been rejigged to fit this small mobile screen, and I can read this very comfortably, and I can just keep moving forward. You will also notice that the original content was 5 A4 pages, but now the text has been refitted into 16 small pages. So this is the benefit of an EPUB file. When I start viewing this very same file on my mobile phone, I can actually read the file very comfortably. So as you can see, the content is quite reasonably well displayed, and everything is available here, and I can read it very comfortably. Now, if you were to just simply tap this screen once, you will see a lot of menu options becoming available to you, one of which is the slider bar at the bottom. So you can come back to any page very quickly. Tap this once again, the slider bar goes away. Tap it once again, the options come back. If you tap on this gear icon right here, you will see a host of other options that you can control. For example, you can change the font size. You can increase the font size further or decrease it to your liking. You can change the font face. You can change the background. If you are reading it during the day or if you're reading it during the night, you can change the background to your preference and convenience. You can also change the justification. It can be left justified, center justified, and so on and so forth. You can also change the page flipping. If you prefer vertical page flipping, you can come and choose vertical, and then you can scroll vertically rather than horizontally, as I was just demonstrating. You can also change the thickness of the font. So there are quite a few things that you can control right here. What you can also see here is a hamburger icon. So you can just simply come here and tap on that once, and you will see that there is a table of contents here. It is just showing you the heading 1 or the chapter headings in our document. You can move from one chapter to the other, just tap on it. You will also notice a couple of other tabs. One is bookmarks and one is quotes. So currently these are empty. But what this means basically is if you long press on a particular word, you can then just simply select something and quote it. In the free version, the color option that is available for quoting is just the gray color, but nevertheless, you can create a quote for yourself. So once you create a quote and then you tap on the screen once and go back to your hamburger icon, you can now see that quote appearing here under the quotes tab. And likewise, if you are reading something and you want to continue reading again, you can just come here and tap and create a bookmark on that particular page. Just tap on the top right of the screen and you should be able to create a bookmark for that particular page. And you can always go back to that bookmark. Just tap once on the screen to get your menu. Tap on the hamburger icon, and under the bookmarks tab, you will see your bookmark, and you can always click on it and reach that particular place. And if you long press on any particular word, you can translate it, you can copy it, you can also see the meaning of that particular word in a dictionary. So all these facilities are available. So the ReadEra app is really very flexible. And if you click on this arrow here, you can go back and then click on the hamburger icon, and you can classify all your documents in different collections. You can search by authors. You can mark your documents that you have already read. You can mark documents as favorites. So there are quite a few things that you can do here and explore. There is a premium version also of this app. So if you click on this icon here, you can see what other interesting features the ReadEra premium app provides you. So you can take that option if you want it. But the free app itself is so feature rich that it's really very generous of the developers to provide this app with so many wonderful features. So reading an ePUB document is really extremely easy on small devices. Compare this with reading a PDF document. So if I was to open my second document here, you will see very small fonts because this is a PDF file. You will have to then pinch and zoom in and then keep scrolling from left to right. And this is really inconvenient to do on a small screen like a mobile phone. So you can clearly see the advantages of converting something into an EPUB format and then very comfortably view that document on your mobile phone or tablet. So this is the ReadEra app, and using this you can not only read EPUB files but a lot of other file formats, and the EPUB file format particularly is very suitable for small screen reading. There are some important points that we cannot overlook, and I need to point those out. The first of these is that our original document started with a table of contents. So that table of contents is currently missing in this EPUB document. Now this would not have been any substantial problem because the EPUB conversion automatically also creates a table of content. So when you click on this icon here, you should be able to see a table of content. The problem here is that in the process of conversion, only headings that were styled as heading 1 have made it to the table of contents. So if you wanted to actually go to a particular section which was styled as heading 2 or heading 3 in our original document, that is not possible. The conversion process from document to EPUB inside LibreOffice has ignored heading 2 and heading 3 in the table of content. So first, the document does not start with a table of content, but if we were to ignore that and go to the table of content that has been created by the EPUB conversion process from inside LibreOffice, we find that headings which were styled as heading 2 and heading 3 are missing from this particular list. The second thing that I want to point out here is that figures are quite okay. They have come. You can just long press on any figure to see an enlarged version of that figure. You can also rotate the screen. You can share this figure with somebody else using the share button, and you can also download this figure. So figures have come out okay. Links, if we click on this link and see what happens here. So links are also being read properly. So that's quite okay, no problem here. As we move forward, we also notice that footnotes have been nicely brought in here. So footnotes are not ignored. We move forward and just try to look at some other things. So one important thing we notice here is that the ordered list that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, those numbers are missing here. You will also see on the screen that all cross references, if you can just see here, in front of Asia, we had mentioned C and we were directing it to the section on Asia. So that cross reference is missing. So the process of conversion inside LibreOffice from a document to EPUB ignores lists and it also ignores cross references. The table seems to have come quite okay, so that's fine. And there are some minor problems in terms of from where the headings are starting. They are indented a little to the right, but that's quite fine. That's not really a major problem. So what I'm pointing out here is that when you are converting your document to an EPUB document inside LibreOffice, you may find that there are missing elements that have been lost in the process of conversion. So we have to be mindful of this, and Unfortunately, there is little that we can do to correct this situation because the conversion process just simply gives us a dialog box, and we can only choose whatever is available from inside the dialog box. But by and large, the conversion process is quite okay. And if you are providing any document in the PDF format, you can also provide the same document in the EPUB format. And barring some minor problems, the EPUB document created by LibreOffice is pretty good and quite readable on small mobile screens. So we have seen that there are some minor issues when we export documents to EPUB in LibreOffice Writer. As this is an automated process, there isn't much we can do to rectify the issues currently inside LibreOffice Writer. However, if we take a closer look at the structure of an EPUB file, we get to know that an EPUB file is basically a collection of HTML pages styled using CSS style sheet. So if we can unpack an EPUB file, and if we were conversant with HTML and CSS, we can directly tweak the HTML documents to address these export issues that we have discussed earlier. So let me now quickly show you what's inside an EPUB file. The ePUB file, environmental challenges, that we have created is right here. I'm going to make a copy of this file and change its extension to .zip. To do this, I must first see the extension of this file. So I'm going to come here on View and click on this drop down, and I'm using Windows 11, and then come and expand Show, and then come here and choose File Name Extension. So when I click on this, I start seeing the extensions on my file. I'm going to make a copy of this file, and then I will just change the extension on this particular copy, and I'm going to call this .zip. It's given me a little warning. It's telling me that it's not advisable to change the extension of a file. Well, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and press yes. So this file has now become environmental challenges copy.zip. The original file was EPUB. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract this zip file. So just right click on it and click on extract all, and it will extract all the files inside the zip file in a folder. This is the folder that has been created. So when you open this folder, this is what you see. This folder has meta information, but this folder OEBPS, when we expand this folder, you will see that there is a toc.xhtml file. XHTML files, X stands for extensible HTML, and this is HTML but a little strict. So if we just explore a little bit more, you will see that there is a folder called as sections. So when we expand this, you will see that there are two HTML files, section 1 and section 2. Let us click on this and see what's inside section 1. So you will notice that the first chapter of my ebook has been culled out and saved as a file, and that file is called as section1001.xhtml. And the reason why it has been separated is because of the heading 1. So we said that break the document at every heading, and so it created a file out of the first chapter, and this second section should be the second chapter. So you can see that the second chapter content is inside this file. So these two HTML files are available to us, and if we knew HTML and CSS, we could then directly edit these files and clean them up and incorporate all the minor changes that we wanted to do. If we go back a little bit, you will see that there's a folder called as styles. So when you click on this folder, you will see this cascading style sheet. So these pages are actually taking their style from this particular cascading style sheet. And if we come to the third folder, you will see all the images that have been used inside the EPUB document. All those images are inside the images folder. So if you have ever designed a website in HTML, you will find that this is a very familiar kind of structure. and you have the option of either using an external software or otherwise directly tweaking this HTML file. So this is the structure of an ePUB file. It's basically a collection of HTML files and cascading style sheets, and once you have access to this, you can edit the HTML files or XHTML files and make any changes that you want. In a future video, I will try to show you how to edit ePUB files or create an ebook from scratch using an external software working directly with HTML and CSS. However, as demonstrated in this video, LibreOffice Writer does a very reasonable job creating ebooks by exporting documents as ePUB files. This is a unique feature in LibreOffice, and this is a hard to find feature in many other word processing softwares. So in this respect, LibreOffice is really very unique. It provides a direct facility to convert documents into ebooks. I hope this video has given a good background on ePUBs and their benefits and can help you get started to share your documents as ePUB files. Many thanks for watching. I hope you found the video informative and interesting, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.